Anyhow, the pre-made pie crust is easier to use, but it's not as good as if you make your own. But anyway, mash it down real good. And then just kind of pinch up the edges, something like this, and it's hard to get it centered exactly where you don't have a little more on one side than the other, but without tearing the pie crust. Anyway, kind of mash it down, make it kind of hold to it better, and you probably maybe have a little hole or two, maybe a hole or two kind of snagged in there, but just kind of press it together. The pie crust, you need to let it get kind of warm at room temperature. It's easier to work with. It's not as stiff after you take it out of the fridge. So I mashed it a little bit too hard. But you can just kind of play with it. Mom used to take a fork here and go around the edges. Main thing is it kind of helps hold the pie crust up a little bit. You know, sometimes it's probably gonna sink a little bit anyway. Anyway, then for a pie crust to use that you're gonna make cook the pie on top of the oven and bake the pie crust first, where you put little holes for the air so it can breathe, you know. Otherwise it'll just pop up. Usually a glass pie plate tends to want to fall over more. I don't know necessarily what it is, but anyway, when it gets the right temperature, we'll put it in the oven and for about 11 to 13 minutes. So you take your pie crust that you have ready to go into the oven to be baked. So it's preheated at 400 degrees. And it says cook it 11 to 14 minutes. This particular one, so I'm going to double the recipe. So this will be, okay, it's one cup per pie of sugar. And then maybe I'll go ahead while I got the sugar out and get it for the icing. So, and for the
meringue.
Egg whites, yeah. It's 1/4 a cup of cocoa per pie. Put that in your sugar. Just like a pretty good pinch of salt, but you know, I would say maybe a 1/4 per pie or whatever. And then flour.
1/4 of what?
1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Actually, I just did a pinch.
Okay.
But it's about that, you know, so. Okay, and then the flour. I put about 3 heaping tablespoons of flour per pie. So I just count them out. So there's 1, just doing 2 pies. 2, 3.
So when you say heaping,
4.
that don't even.
Well,
you're not filling it up. You're just
5. It's kind of.
To me, that seems like it ain't even quite a teaspoon because it's.
Oh no.
Because you didn't spread it out.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's what I consider a heaping. You can make it bigger, but you know, kind of a pretty good.
Okay.
So that's 6, I think. So
Yep.
take your whisk your dry mixture. You want to get it mixed up really good before you put your milk in there. If you put your milk in first, the chocolate won't dissolve as well. And you'll work with it. Got to mix it well.
This is whole milk.
Yeah. You can't even put use a little half and half if you want to make it richer. There's the best. So for 2 pies, it'll take 4 cups of milk. Just kind of mix it up. It doesn't have to be totally dissolved before you start to heat it. But anyway, and put your heat on kind of not real high, but sort of high. You know, say here's real high, and I would say kind of medium high. I guess. The main thing is you don't want it to stick. Okay. Around the edges on the bottom. If you do not stir the spoon, it kind of picks up.
So where'd you get this recipe?
What?
Where'd you get the recipe?
Oh, from a lady at church. Who lived in Freeport. When Debbie was a baby, I guess. Anyway. Okay, it'll be okay not to stir it right now, because it's not too hot yet. Payne, I mean, you take your eggs and I like the extra large eggs, or either and you'd get your hands really clean.
But you have to get your hands really clean, you said?
Yeah, well, I mean, no grease on them.
Okay. Or you said the egg whites won't?
Egg whites, it won't
rise?
They won't rise, or they're just kind of stick flat.
For the meringue?
Yeah. And you also need to be careful with the yolk, because you break the yolk. If you break the yolk, it won't rise either. So I think I should have done it. I'm going to beat them in here. The egg whites. Okay. No, it's not sticking yet. But if you forget it, it will start lumping. So it's okay now for a minute to do that. I'm gonna wash my hands again.
What are you looking for?
The other thing. Okay. Anyhow, you normally do 6 eggs. Put the whites in one bowl.
That's 6 eggs for 2 pies?
Yeah.
So it's 3 eggs per pie?
Yeah. Some people put 2, but the recipe called for 3, and I really like the lady's pies many years ago. Now, okay. And then you beat that up. Take this little ball. Maybe turn it up a bit. But you really do need to watch this pretty close so it won't start lumping, because it'll work out a lot better for you it doesn't start lumping. Alright, go pick in here. See what the pie crusher doing. You know, we didn't time it, but anyhow, it's almost ready. You just stir this. Yeah. It'll take maybe another 3 minutes anyway for this to get thick enough, I imagine. But when it does, I pour a little bit into the egg mixture to kind of temper it, so that whenever you put the egg mixture back in there, it won't
shock it.
won't lump so bad.
Yeah.
But you still got to be careful. Here's some flour pieces. In the meantime, move this. Better check on this again. Yeah, it's ready. This one. I'm gonna let it stay. I'm gonna let it stay just about a minute longer. You can turn it a little bit higher if you watch it. Still smell. It wouldn't take one pie quite as long as it takes two, you know. But anyway, you just have to watch it. I'll leave the oven on.
Leave it on 400 or turn it down?
Yeah, I should leave it there. This, you know, it's getting kind of hot. It can come to a bubble or whatever. Main thing, just you want it to be pretty hot. Take this and okay.
You want me to do it?
Here's my thing. A little bit more. It's practical cooking the eggs already, you know. take that, and then pour slowly into the mixture, stirring as you go. And back to stirring again. And you just stir until you think it's thick enough, and I don't know what temperature that would be. You see. It's kind of steaming, like so. It's pretty hot. You see that. When I was pouring it in there, I wasn't stirring quite fast enough. It won't be lumps, but it's just a little fraction, just a little piece.
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta stir fast when you pour it in.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's by being heavy, it's pretty heavy. Well, now it's beginning to get kind of heavy. Sometimes I'll take this and just even so I don't, if I don't see any lumps in it, I'll just do it anyway. Set it.
Yeah. You're trying to keep those out?
Yeah. You want them to be smooth, you know. So it's usually around the bottom edges.
Yeah, it's starting to steam.
Yeah. That's good.
Getting too much?
Yeah. I need to do this again. It's under control.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost there, you see.
Yeah, it becomes like pudding, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's almost ready.
Okay.
Let me see if I can. Yeah. See? It's kind of slowing up back, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The lag. Well, the first part comes out pretty fast, but, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of lump a little bit again, so turn the heat off and set even. The ones that starts getting thick, it lumps up fast. I think it's pretty good. Yeah, see. And sometimes, you know, unless you measure exactly every time, or it may be not quite as thick and better. See, now we need to get some butter. Anyway, it's usually about 2 tablespoons per pie. So I would say just 1, 2, or something about, say, about like this. Just drop it in, and you can let that sit. Of course, I'll go and put the vanilla in. It calls for one teaspoon per pie, but I always put 2. So that means I put 4 teaspoons for 2 pies. Anyhow, I just, like I say, prefer a lot of. Okay. And you let this set off of the heat,
Okay.
Just so you have your 6 egg whites. Just use yolks in the pie, but this is for the meringue. So you kind of beat this so it gets kind of foamy. Another pinch of the meringue, another little pinch of, just not much salt. You wouldn't even have to put salt in it, but I like it. I used to never use cream of tartar, but this is what they use, I found out, to make it more fluffy, So, and I'm not even sure that the proper time to put it in. I just never did find out. So I'll just do it. Maybe a little more. I think maybe it's going to hold it. Now I get the extract. A little bit of about a teaspoon into the egg whites. So about a half teaspoon for each pie.
Vanilla flavor.
Yeah. Okay, now back over here, and you fill your pie crust. Go around the edges really good. See how thick now it's. And I'll do this again. You don't have to, but I just sometimes do. Okay, now pour it in your pie crust. And I just try to just kind of guess. Just kind of have it. Just let kind of, what do we think? If you're making one pie, well then, it wouldn't be a big deal. spatula and get a little more out, but it's
You don't find a big difference between the glass pie dish and the metal?
not really. Just sometimes it seems like the glass, it most kind of fold in more, you know, like shrink more, you know. Yeah, it seems like you just take your egg whites that you beat and put it on the pie. Okay, maybe a little more. Then I usually just take a spoon and do something like this, but it's not doing as quite as well because of the little bit of
Yeah.
yellow. But okay. Now, that done. You stick them in the oven and maybe 3 to 5 minutes. You just have to watch it, and when it gets what you think it's ready, take it out, you know.
So at this point, you're just baking the meringue?
Yeah.
You're not baking anything else?
No. Oh, it's not even. It has about 3. I'm making 3 minutes yet. Like that. It's almost there, but
Okay.
go back another minute.
A little bit longer.
Yeah. What he was talking about. It's kind of brown a little bit.
Yeah, that right corner works better.
Yeah. It's glass. You have to. It's very hot. La la, you got 2 pies.
Magic.
It's not the most beautiful